Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you a weekly podcast for the more sophisticated beer drinker. So sit back, pour yourself a pint, and enjoy the internet's longest running 100% blind roundtable taste test beer review show. You're listening to The Beer Snobs.
Welcome to the show, everybody. How you guys doing? I am Daemon. You're listening to The Beer Snobs. Across the table from me is...
Hey guys, this is Brian from Beer Quest.
And our special guest for this month...
Hey guys, it's Kelly with Tap Geeks.
Awesome. And before we get started with the show, got to remember our beer of the month, Belhaven Scottish Ale.
Gotta love the Scots.
Gotta love the Scottish Ale. It was good. Again, the miracle of the clear bottle. The good beer from the clear bottle. Kelly's just amazed out of his mind that it was good.
I didn't taste it. I'm going to take your word for it. Clear bottles or something I don't trust.
Because that's right. Again, we have, he's our guest. He wasn't here when we chose the beer of the month. So it's just, he's, just like you guys, he's kind of just taking our word for it. Hopefully he does get a chance to try it though.
I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
Give it a shot. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. The three of us came to consensus on it. That says something. That at least that's what we think. But anyway, let's get the show started. It's another round of a segment I like to call Beer News, and this one, a major website. Usually, I don't take my beer news from major websites, but this one's on CNN Money, money.cnn.com by Catherine Vassell. There's a black market for beer, and it's bad for drinkers.
What?
Your next specialty beer could cost you a lot more. High demand for craft beers is creating a black market for some small batch brews, and unauthorized dealers are selling the beers underground or online for inflated prices up to 20 times above retail. Have you guys heard about this?
I have heard of a few things like this, but it's been along the lines of somebody in Vermont is making some underground heady topper and selling it like it's from the brewery.
Oh, no,
it's homebrew.
Let's see, whether it's a top-rated brew or one with new or seasonal ingredients, everyone wants to get their hands on exclusive batches. The demand is certainly there, and people are stepping in to fulfill that need in unsavory ways, said Beer Cicerone and Becerra. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce her last name. It's common for craft brewers to release smaller, limited-time batches of beer. Most of the time, it's out of necessity. For us, it's a space issue, said Russian River Brewing Company co-owner Natalie Silurzo. Again, I'm guessing. We are physically limited to producing a finite amount of beer due to property, building, and ultimately tank space. It kind of sucks. You go to the trouble of, because there's a lot of breweries where you can go and you can do samples. And when you're there, that's where you get it. And you take a growler with you, it's good for a week, if that. So obviously there's not going to be a lot of pirate sales, but you go to the trouble of spending all your money to bottle. And then, it says right here, many of these hard-to-get brews are getting sold online, in stores, and even in restaurants at 5 to 20 times the original price tag. Russian River puts out a popular seasonal sour beer that sells for around $5, but Silurzo said she's seen it online selling for $100 or more.
More recently, I've seen things like this. I think it was a bottle of Bourbon County from Goose Island. It was
$175.
$175 for the vanilla rye.
Yes, for one 12-ounce bottle.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Black Tuesday, I've heard of it selling for an upwards of $300 across the country from the brewery in Placentia.
This is right here. Might know something about this. Bill Sizak, craft beer ambassador at Stone, that he's seen a limited edition beer from his brewery being sold online for more than $1,000 a bottle. It was originally sold in 2002 for $7.99 and probably isn't worth the inflated price.
He should know because he probably has a bottle in his cellar.
Yeah, he's probably had it yesterday.
Tom Arthur, co-founder and brewmaster of Lost Abbey, introduced a cherry version of its popular cable car in 2012 and sold it for $45 for a 750 milliliter bottle. Only 80 cases were made, and he said it's now being sold for $800 a piece on the black market.
And it's sad because although the beer might be worth that, maybe, depending on, what the price is, what the beer is, none of the money goes to the brewery. None of the money goes to the people who made it.
That's what I'm saying. That's about why it sucks. You bottle this and then the price is getting inflated to 95% of what you're paying is from the people gouging you And none of that money is going to the people that actually put all the hard work into brewing it and bottling it and putting their name on it. These aren't baseball cards.
No,
They're not even Pokemon cards. Okay, this is beer. This is meant to be enjoyed, not to rape someone of their savings just so they can have a taste.
Can you imagine if this was any other industry? Like if you went to go buy a $46,000 Mercedes C-Class for $300,000.
Yeah,
like you just wouldn't do it.
Exactly. No, and the thing is, there are stores that I've been to around Southern California that will get beers that are harder to find. And I remember what was it? That special edition Dogfish Head IPA.
I don't know.
120 minute. I think
That's
it was
the first one that comes to mind. The 120 is kind of harder to get.
Yeah, there was a place I went to and they were selling the single bottles, and the thing is they got them somehow and they put them on their shelves, and because they had to pay full price, they weren't able to get the wholesale, and they marked it up and it was like per single bottle like $16. 15.
Oh, wow.
It was like 14, 16 bucks. I paid that because that isn't that unreasonable. It's like they went out and paid full price. They're a store, a retail place. They have to make some money on to make it worth it. I didn't have a problem with that. But if they were trying to sell it for like $100, $200 a bottle, fuck them.
Yeah,
No
and
way.
some guy in his underwear on eBay. Yeah, that's totally different, man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you want to buy some beer?
Hey, check it out. Back of my van.
It might be a drain pour, but I mean,
Wait, you have a van full of beer?
Oh God, yeah, but so we know how we feel about this. Bloated beer prices have also been found on retail shelves and restaurants. It's not a good way to build your brand, said Silurzo. Our recommended selling price can be $5, and yet we see it in a liquor store that bootlegged it and put it on the shelf for $25. The consumer doesn't understand. We have nothing to do with that. Obviously, they have a problem with it. Anyways, that's our first story. Again, thanks to Catherine Vassal at CNN Money. Like they need help. They make a lot of money. Fuck them. This next story is coming in from 2WD.com. It's a radio station's website. This is by Mike Stans. Bye Clydesdales.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I heard about that.
Schlitz may have been the beer that made Milwaukee famous for better or worse, but Budweiser is the beer that made Clydesdales famous. Yeah, it kind of sucks to be attached to that, doesn't it? When you think of the giant draft horses, don't you instantly think of them pulling a Budweiser beer wagon?
This is true.
Yeah, because I was 8 when those commercials came out. If you're between the ages of 21 and 27, maybe not. He knows. And you're the target market that Budweiser's after in an attempt to regain its market share, which has slipped steadily for the past 10 years. And the folks who market Budweiser don't think that the Majestic Clydesdale is the best way to reach that demographic. Come on. Like these fucking hipsters don't like horses?
That's why the beer doesn't sell, guys.
It has nothing to do with the beer. Why do you keep showing the horses?
They don't want to see horses. They want to see women.
Why don't you just show a guy in a beard wearing a children's onesie and his mother's shoes? That's what'll do it.
Well, you guys,
They could pull the cart, right? They don't need the horses.
Well, you guys have seen the new Miller commercials, right?
What, the people in the bar, the hipsters in the bar or whatever?
No, it's this new commercial where this guy is talking about how all the amazing hops that go into it. And
look at all these amazing ingredients we put in this beer before it totally tastes like crap.
And then there's this guy talking to you about all these amazing ingredients going into this beer, and then all the while there's this very obvious subliminal message that's just these flashes of women in these porcelain bathtubs with hops showering over them.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what? That's where all the hops go? Not in the beer.
Did it touch us the chick first? That's awesome. That's the closest I'll get to a woman.
That's how you have to sell beer.
With chicks, man.
Yep, chicks in bathtubs with wasted hops.
There you go.
I just keep going back. Like, I remember, I think it's the late 90s. They always had these bitter beer face. Like, don't get the bitter beer face. You remember those with the guy who
God.
had the lip going over his head and everything?
Ugh.
And it's like, oh, wow, now IPAs that are bitter are taking over.
Look at a Coors commercial. It's like,
oh,
chicks.
yeah.
Sometimes a cool hip hop star. Usually it's a train. Most of it's like images that have nothing to do with beers.
I like the train that goes through the mountain, though.
The train going through the... Yeah, what does
that sells beer.
Yeah, that sells beer when you...
Because it's a can.
When you can't sell beer for being good, you need to sell beer for all the things it shouldn't be, like ice cold.
Am I the only one around here that doesn't want his beer as cold as the fucking Rockies?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I like to taste my beer.
Yeah.
If I wanted that cold, like, come on, Coors Light tastes best with ice. Like, what do you What are you doing? At
Now
this
with a
point?
color-changing label to know that you won't be drinking piss.
You'll know you're drinking piss, but you don't have to taste it.
Yep.
Come on, guys.
Well, you guys have seen those. Shock Top had kind of an underground commercial series that only really aired on the web, and it was a talking orange slice on the tap handle.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they directly called out because at first they were like, "Hey, man, I want to be your buddy. Take me to the party. We're
that
gonna be
was
awesome
actually
together."
like hidden camera stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, they tried to pass it off as hidden camera stuff, and then they had
Talking orange.
yeah,
What's up, guys?
I'm talking orange, dude. What's up, man? And
Talk, man.
they directly called out craft beer companies by saying, "What's with all these names? Unicorn blood and all this, probably brewed in some guy's bathtub, probably isn't even safe to drink."
Shock Top said, "Wow,
Yeah.
wow, what a bunch of dicks."
I was very upset.
Yeah, Shock Top, a beer that was not recommended on this show.
Yep.
Not even the raspberry one?
Not even the raspberry. All right.
I couldn't give away the other 5.
There was the one that was like the apple, the candy.
Yeah, the apple crisp.
That one. That one's again. That's
Oh.
another. That's a beer. That's one of those beers. Well, I couldn't find any Smirnoff Ice. Here you go.
I know I'm in a place that I don't want to be when I see all 3 of those on tap.
Yes.
And there's a bar around here that has all 3 of those on tap,
Jesus
and it
Christ,
scares
man.
the hell out of me.
God damn it. Still better than most of the shit they probably serve anyway. But
Yeah.
we have gone way over for this segment, but thanks a lot to 2WD.com for this story. Bye Clydesdales. Mike Stans, good job. Do better editing next time. But we need to get to our blind review of the show. And this one, golden honey color.
Hints of amber, a little bit of red.
It's interesting. It looks completely clear, but I mean, when you look through it, it gets cloudy quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty hazy.
This tastes like an amber.
This has a spice note to it that I can't put my finger on.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm picking up a lot of sweetness, like overly sweet.
Yeah, same here.
I'll say it again, honey.
Definitely get the honey in there. I don't pick up any bitterness. I mean, I don't know. I'd go with amber also. I'm not quite sure what the style is on this, but
this
it's not unique.
This tastes like the beer we had last week.
It kind of does.
All right, so before we move on, let's give a recommendation for this one. Hardiman.
I don't know, man. It's sweet, kind of like the Cheers one was last week. And
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that one either. I wouldn't recommend this beer.
All right, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow that one. I wouldn't recommend this beer. It's just, the same thing. It's far too sweet. I'm getting these honey undertones that just aren't really agreeing with me. For lack of a better way of describing it, I'm gonna use the word cheap, as in just kind of cheaply made.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I liked the one last week for what it was, and this one it's like the same beer almost. I have no problem with it, so I'm gonna give it my recommendation again. Not for the serious hardcore beer drinker, but
just because you liked it.
I think there are people that would like this that I could recommend this to, so I'm recommending it to those people. And I liked it. I did like it. I think it's a good beer.
Okay, let's find out what this is.
Yeah, let's get to the reveal.
What is this?
Rinkuškiai Werewolf beer.
What is it like?
It's okay.
Netherlands or
Let me
Swedish or
let me read the description on this one. Brewery Rinkuškiai, and again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Brewery Rinkuškiai was established in the year 1991 in Brewery region, known as beer country in Lithuania. Rinkuškiai beer quality is the result of all traditions of beer country, experience of the past generations, and innovations of the modern days. This makes Rinkuškiai beer one of the most exclusive in Lithuania. Werewolf has an attractive dark color, slightly sweet, rich taste of malt, and slight aroma of hops. Want to drink more? Oh yes, and be aware that Werewolf is based on the old recipe of one of the best Brewery beers.
So this is Lithuanian beer.
This is Lithuanian beer.
8.2% alcohol.
8.2.
Wow, I did not pick up that at all.
No, yeah, I was surprised when I saw it.
Yeah, that's heavy for what this is. This tastes like what happens if you give the Cheers beer an alcoholic kick.
Yeah, totally.
This
tastes just like the Cheers beer.
This tastes expired.
But I'm feeling the buzz.
Oh yeah, yours is gone, man.
I am feeling the buzz on this beer.
Hello, I am feeling buzzed. I don't know if that's their accent. But
I'm
we're just
guessing.
gonna go with that.
Yeah, we're going with
I
it.
don't know anything about Lithuania except now we've had their culture through beer. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
now finding out about Lithuania.
It's a weird bottle.
The bottle's awesome. I love this bottle.
It's weird because it's a half wolf, half chick.
This is a pint 0.9, 8.2%, and I got it from Total Wine, and the cost was $2.99. Not bad price for what it is, but I have to say, if you're going to get a beer like this, I'd probably end up going for the Cheers one we had last week because at least that was 79 cents for a goddamn tall can. This is $3,
That was a really cool can.
and this is a really cool bottle, but it's $3. $3 for this. I don't think this is worth $3.
I don't think so. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I don't think it was worth $3. For me, I'm gonna stick with. I know there's no proof of it, but I think it tastes expired. Yeah.
Well, I mean there's zero proof of it.
Yep.
I mean, it was imported. You never know what happens
Exactly.
during the importing process. But I mean, usually if it's something that's highly suspect, we can always try it again in the future. Put on the list of beers to try again. But I don't know. I didn't really get a sense of this one being bad. Just this. I mean, they don't even refer to this as an amber, but it obviously is a honey amber, kind of like the one we had last week. And it was like, it's crazy that we did that 2 weeks in a row. But again, there's no way to know from the description on this. It doesn't say anything like that on it.
Yeah. Looking at it, who knows what it would be?
Yeah.
I mean, you think werewolf, and you're just like,
Yeah.
huh?
What?
Okay, try it.
So there you go. That's the end of the show. 2-1 against. But again, we like to say on the show, we drink it, you decide. You might like this. Go out and give it a shot. Obviously, not suggesting it for people who like really strong beers, but I mean, you might like it. You never know. You might like it as a nice, friendly soft drink to go with your nachos. And, who knows? But don't count it out. Try everything once. Anyways, that's it for the show. Don't forget our beer of the month, Bellhaven Scottish Ale. Amazing.
Yeah.
Go out and give it a shot. Oh, Beer Quest, QWEST.
Yeah, guys, follow us on Beer Quest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. We're not on Elo like the beer snobs, but we're getting there.
Oh, almost. Kelly, anything to plug?
Yeah, check us out. It's youtube.com/tapgeeks. Cool little beer show we got going on over there with me and my co-host Wes. And thank you so much for having me on the show, guys.
Not a problem. And thanks a lot for listening. We will see you next week.
Hey, guys, it's Brian. The quest is only half the fun.
Hey guys, this is Kelly, and I'm just checking out.
This is Darren. Auf Wiedersehen.